Hi everyone, it's Janis from the Indianola Public Library. I'm back with some more recommendations of books that you can find at the library. This week I'm sharing some of our new JR books. These are chapter books that have moved to their own section in the library. There are some new series and some additions to some of your favorite series. Either way, there's something for every chapter book reader on our shelves. If you like pet stories, you should try some of the books from the Pet Rescue Adventures series by Holly Webb. In The Perfect Kitten, Abby has always wanted a kitten, but the street she lives on is too busy to have one. Luckily, the local rescue center is looking to find a home for a deaf kitten who must stay indoors. Flower the kitten is so happy to have found a family who will take extra special care of her, and she loves cuddling up with Abby. But there is a whole world of exciting things just beyond the window. All she needs is a chance to get outside and explore. Abby must figure out a way to keep the kitten safe, especially when the kitten gets bored. And then, in The Puppy Who Couldn't Sleep, Lara finds a homeless puppy in an alley, and she knows she has to help. She brings him back to her house and names him Jet, and he seems delighted with his new home. There's just one problem. When night falls, the world becomes a scary place for Jet, and his howling keeps the entire family awake. Lara is desperate to help the puppy sleep, but what can she do? And finally, in The Loneliest Kitten, Charlie the kitten has found his forever home with Darcy and Will. But then school starts and Charlie starts to feel neglected. So he finds another home to visit. But then one day, Charlie doesn't return home at all. What has happened to him? And will he ever come back? This is a fun series that's about all different kinds of pets. Give them a look. Another series that's relatively new to our library is the Dragon Masters series by Tracy West. 8-year-old Drake doesn't like digging onions, but he's resigned to that future. That is, until one of the king's men scoops him up and whisks him away to the castle to become a dragon master. Now, Drake is a little disappointed when he meets his particular dragon, the Earth Dragon, because it's not flashy, it can't fly, and it looks like a snake. Still, Drake senses a connection and names the dragon Worm. So in one of the new books that we have in this series, Land of the Spring Dragon, Naga, the earthquake dragon, has devastated the kingdom of Bracken, and now Drake and Worm must appeal to the spring dragon, Fallon, who is their only hope of restoring Bracken before its people starve. But Fallon lives deep inside a secret fairy world, and Drake must pass a series of tricky tests before he can even make his appeal. And in Future of the Time Dragon, the dark wizard Maldred has trapped Dragon Master Eco, as well as wizards who have opposed him, inside a wall in his hideout. So Drake and Worm set out to seek the help of the Time Dragon. But then an imp named Beazle interferes, and Drake ends up back in his own past. Can Drake find a way to get back to the present? And in Call of the Sound Dragon, the city of Remus is being torn apart by a duel between two wizards, and Drake, Petra, and Griffith have traveled there to assist a blind dragon master in sorting out the situation. Using the Sound Dragon's unique power to manipulate sound waves, the Dragon Masters retrieve the power crystal, which is embedded inside an unbreakable rock. But will the power crystal be able to absorb the cloud of uncontrolled magic that is threatening the city before it's too late? This is a magical and dragon-filled series that I think you'll enjoy. And next is a series that I know you're familiar with. It's the Who Is, Who Was series. I have had a ton of requests for books in this series, and we'll be adding to it as new ones come out. This series tells the incredible stories of trailblazers, legends, innovators, and creators. From Mr. Rogers and Michael Jordan to Napoleon and Leif Erikson. From Aretha Franklin to Princess Diana. These biographies are fun to read. They're packed with information and obscure details so you can amaze your family and friends with all the cool stuff that you know about these interesting people. and they remind us of our own potential to make our mark on the world. They're interesting and they're fun, and I think you should check them out. And next, we have a new series by pseudonymous Bosch. It's called The Unbelievable Oliver, and they're stories about Oliver, who's a third grader who wants to be a magician, but he keeps finding himself involved in mysteries at his magic shows. The first book in the series is The Unbelievable Oliver and the Four Jokers. 8-year-old Oliver has been rehearsing a card trick in front of his friends, twins Bee and Teeny, but he can't quite pull it off. Then the twins do Oliver a favor and get him invited to their classmate Maddox's birthday party. Maddox invited everyone in the third grade except Oliver. So despite some quick instruction from Benny, a talking rabbit who lives in a magic shop's old top hat, Oliver's inexpert debut before his classmates seems headed for disaster. But then Maddox, who is thoroughly spoiled, accuses Benny the bunny of stealing his birthday present. Oliver and his friends split up to interview suspects and gather clues. Ultimately, a simple card trick provides the insight that allows Oliver to put the bits together. And in the second book, The Unbelievable Oliver and the Sawed-in-Half Dads, Teeny and Bee's dads are getting hitched at last, and everyone's excited. Oliver has been asked to be a ring bearer and to entertain the guests at the rehearsal brunch. Now, of course, Oliver decides to up his game and saw one of the grooms in half. The boy magician pulls off the sleight of hand, but then one of the dads goes missing. Is it a case of cold feet or something more nefarious? These are fun books, and if you're an aspiring magician like Oliver, at the end of each of these books there's a section with a description of the trick, how it's done, and suggestions for how to talk to the audience at your next magic show. If you love the Boxcar Children, we have some new Boxcar Children mysteries at the library as well. The Boxcar Children is written by Gertrude Warner. And our first new book is called Mystery at Camp Survival. The Boxcar Children know how much work it takes to live in the wilderness. They also know how much fun it can be. The children love exploring and learning new things at a primitive skills summer camp. But when strange things start happening around the camp, they need to use another of their favorite skills, mystery solving. And then, in The Mystery of the Forgotten Family, the Boxcar Children are helping a friend, a local antique shop owner who has lost his memory after an accident. The Alden siblings help piece together the man's past to uncover who is holding a grudge against him. But what they find is a mystery going back generations. Can the Aldens help their friend unlock secrets of the past and the present? The Boxcar Children always have a great mystery, so I think you should check these out. And how about the Magic Treehouse series by Mary Pope Osborne? We have some new additions to this series as well. The first one is called To the Future, Ben Franklin. Jack and Annie know all about Ben Franklin. He was a founding father, a journalist, and a famous inventor. When the Magic Treehouse whisks them back to meet the man himself, they're not sure what their mission is. But Ben Franklin has a mission of his own. Intrigued by Jack and Annie, he's curious to learn more about where they came from. And he's very curious about their treehouse. And in Late Lunch with Llamas, the Magic Treehouse takes Jack and Annie to a mountainside where they're surprised to find farmers nearby. And then they learn that a farmer's baby llama has been stolen. So Jack and Annie vow to bring the little animal back to its owners. But the journey is treacherous. They must climb to the peak of Machu Picchu and climb back down in order to complete this mission. Now, Jack and Annie have been on many dangerous travels, but can they survive this one? And in Hurricane Heroes in Texas, Jack and Annie are on a mission. When the Magic Treehouse whisks them back to Galveston, Texas in 1900, they find out that a big storm is coming. But even though there is rain and wind, no one believes there's any danger. As the storm grows, seawater floods the city. Now everyone needs help. Jack and Annie have a little bit of magic and a lot of hope. But will it be enough? And of course, Geronimo Stilton and his sister Thea Stilton have some new adventures for you to check out. In Geronimo Stilton, The Sticky Situation, Geronimo and Trap team up with a group of organic beekeepers to help them make delicious honey. But then they find their efforts complicated by the schemes of the evil Madame No. And in Geronimo Stilton Time Warp, pirate cats threaten Mouse Island. So Professor Von Volt sends Geronimo Stilton and his friends back through time to ancient Greece, Atlantis, and Stonehenge to try and find out how ancient civilizations were able to find peace and avoid war. But what they find is that the key to peace was under their whiskers the whole time. And then Thea Stilton and the Thea sisters travel to the land of flowers, where the 7 roses, magical flowers that bloom forever and that are linked to the health of the land of flowers, are dying. The Thea sisters, together with Will Mystery, must travel to the land of flowers to discover the reason. Then, in the Dance of the Star Fairies, the Kingdom of Starlight is in trouble. Its stars, which are powered by a special kind of stardust, are fading and may soon go out forever, leaving the kingdom in darkness. So the Thea sisters and Will Mystery set out for Bright Star Castle to discover what is wrong. But first, they must overcome the obstacles and challenges that fairies are putting in their way. And finally, we have Book 2 of the Treasure Seekers series. It's called The Compass of the Stars. The Thea sisters continue the search for the 7 ancient treasures, using the clues found in Aurora Beatrix Lane's travel diary. They're off to find the fabulous emerald which once belonged to Cleopatra, the legendary Jewel of the Queen. They cross rivers of ice, deserts of fire, and all kinds of other fascinating places on their journey to find it. So come in and check out some of these great chapter book series, or try something else. We have all kinds of books on the shelves, so come on in and find your next great adventure. We open Monday through Saturday at noon, and then we close at our regular times. We're looking forward to seeing you, so come on in. Bye!